Hey there YouTube, welcome to my domain. This is Everything Animated, ending the 2015 year with the top 10 anime countdown. Today I'm just gonna give half, 10 through 6, with a few honorable mentions thrown in there just for kicks. Food Wars was an absolutely fun show. It's a show centered around our main character, Soma. He basically works with his father. His father is a very brilliantly talented chef, and the father decides to close down business. So then Soma goes to the best culinary arts school in all of Japan. That's very strict, very tough, very, they're very strict, and if you fail so many times, like, you get kicked out, you get expelled. A lot of people get kicked out a lot in the show. And what we have is an interesting kind of premise. It's basically centered mostly around food, and it's about a guy who's really good at making food. And what they do in the show when the people eat the food is, well, they lose their minds, they lose their clothes, they lose pretty much everything that you'd imagine. And it gets over the top, and it's pretty wacky and zany. But overall, it's a fun show. I didn't put it on my top 10 because, well, when it ends, it doesn't end. But the good news is they confirmed a season 2. I think, well, they haven't confirmed a date, but they really are coming out with a season 2, which is good, because the way that ended, they definitely needed to continue it. So glad that it did so well that they're making a season 2. Really happy for that one. I pretty much touched base on this show on my last review, but I can go a little bit more in depth with it. So pretty much you have an evil god, and when the evil god comes out, the god of fate, the good one, summons 6 braves that will all have very unique powers to defeat this evil god. And when I first saw this show, I was like, okay, seems interesting. It's another magical type show, but not only is it a magical type show, pretty much the majority of this show takes place in one setting where, because originally there's 6, there's 7, so one of them is a fake. So it's a whodunit kind of mystery, who is the 7th brave, who's the one that's going to betray them, who's the actual bad one and not who they appear to be. It almost kind of reminds me of The Hateful Eight, in a way. I just saw it recently. It's a pretty good movie. But, this show is a pretty good show. My only gripe is that it doesn't end, and it has a lot of potential into being something so much more, and so much more just interesting. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes with it. If they don't ever pick it up, I'm going to be disappointed. But I'm just kind of used to shows like that now. If it doesn't pick up, unless it pulls a gangster and just doesn't fucking finish, that pissed me off this year. This show is on my top 10 list because it is absolutely hilarious. It is fun, and it's pretty much like has huge harem elements and stuff, but it's not the exact same sort of thing. So basically the gist of the show is monsters live amongst humans. There's this new act that says, monsters are equal amongst humans, and they are not to be discriminated against, but you can't marry them. But our main character, who is only referred to as Darling Coon, he's the main character. And he's with a snake girl, and then he ends up being with a centaur, and then a bird lady, spider lady, slime looking thing. And eventually he ends up with like 8 or 9 or 10 monster girls living with him. And he takes it like a champ, getting killed, getting his arm dislocated, getting just everything wrong happen to him in every sense of the word. But it's a fun show. It's kind of interesting to see that the main character is actually an adult and not like a teenage boy. The girls, the monsters I should say, are grotesque but also kind of cute. I've always found that very interesting, like when Cat Planet Cuties, oh, we're aliens, but the only thing you can tell is the fact that we have cat ears and the tail, but everything else is perfectly normal. These monster girls, Snake Girl looks like a fucking snake, Centaur looks like a horse, Spider Lady, she's a spider. There's no denying that they're monsters, and to me, that's what makes this show good, is when you ask for monsters, you really do get monsters. And they all have their own unique sort of personality. And of course you get the Ichi elements, over the top Ichi elements, and just some pretty insane shit. But it's fun. Don't know if there's going to be a second season of this, but I don't see why it wouldn't. It seems like a show that would be good enough to get a second season. But it's definitely fun. If you like harems and are interested in something new for a change, I say give it a try. It's really fun. Really fun. This was the third and final season of Kokoro no Basketball. I think I like the second season better, but that's just me personally. The third season was good, but then for some reason they had to throw in an arc in the middle of it and just, I don't know, kind of make you wait and watch a story arc that you really didn't care about. And that's what I hate about these long-running animes, is like you'll see one arc going and then all of a sudden they'll jam in another arc splitting off into a different direction, and you're like, I didn't want to watch that. I wanted to watch the final match between the two high schools. I don't care about what happened in the past. Make it a fucking, I don't know, an OVA or a side story, but don't do it in the middle of season 3. Pisses me off when shows do that. But when it actually does get to the final show, it's really good. I really kind of wish that I didn't get spoiled before I saw the final one, because, you know, Crunchyroll spoiled a few things for me. Not gonna say what it was that spoiled it, but they pretty much did, and I would have loved to have seen it without that. And it was fun, it was entertaining. I liked this show overall, but now that I know that was the final season, that's how it ended. It ended nicely, it had a nice conclusion, everything was, you know, wrapped with a little nice bow on it, you know, saying goodbye to all these characters and everything. For a sports anime about basketball and how they do it, so over the top, so much fun. If you haven't watched this show, definitely give this a chance. To me, the third season is, if you get past that one annoying story arc that shouldn't be in there, you'll be fine. But to me, the second season was better, and this one, once you get to the last 5 episodes, it's awesome. Check it out. So last year, I reviewed a show called The Fruits of Grisaia. Now we got 2 new shows, The Labyrinth of Grisaia and The Eden of Grisaia. The Labyrinth was a 1-hour show dedicated to our main character, Yuji. And Yuji, in my honest opinion, is definitely one of the best male protagonists in a harem that I've ever seen, because other harem leads, they're so pussy and they're so wussy, and it's a wonder why these girls even like him, because they faint at the sight of boobies. Not this guy. This guy literally has boned some chicks and has gotten laid, and he's killer and just everything, and I'm just like, I like this dude. I like this dude a lot. He's cool. But the problem of the first, like I said, the Fruits of Grisaia, was that we never got to know this guy. Well, in the Labyrinth of Grisaia, we got to know who this guy was and what kind of fucked up past that he had. This guy had a fucked up past. And like I said, the Labyrinth of Grisaia was an hour long, and it kind of told the story of Yuji and what happened with him. And then the Eden of Grisaia came, and then it told more about Yuji and his story, and then there was a lot of plot twists and everything. The Fruits of Grisaia was about the girls. The Labyrinth of Grisaia and the Eden of Grisaia was about Yuji. And I liked it because, well, it was a nice story. It was a nice continuation. It was everything that I wanted to see more about the show, but now we got to see the story about him, and I liked it, and it had a very solid ending. That it actually ended, and everything was all good. I'd totally watch it again. It's a funny harem, kind of dark, twisted thing that I like. It's fun. it's hilarious, especially when there's a scene where the two girls are fighting over some like jam or food, and then they are doing it like it's something some pervish kind of act towards it and everything, and it's so hilarious and funny. Yeah, if you're into kind of like dark comedy, dark twisted harems, check it out. It's really, really cool, and it's the best harem male that you will ever see in a harem, period, because honestly I don't think there's one better. Plastic Memories was written by the man who wrote Steins Gate, and I love Steins Gate so much. To me, that's probably the best anime of 2011 when it came out, and definitely one of my top favorite ones of all time. Plastic Memories, though, I didn't know how to feel about it at first. I really liked the first episode, and then there was a few kind of dumb episodes where it involved like the neighbor and just awkward situations, and then just living together, and I'm just like, is this a serious show about the morality of people and robots, and the fact that people can get attached to robots, and the conflictions of once a robot becomes in your life, you grow attached to them and have that affection? Or is this another stupid anime about awkward situations and shutting doors? You know what I mean? The first episode established itself as that, the well-written show that has inner conflicts of, this is a robot, and after so many years it has to go back, but you grow attached to it just like anything, like a dog or a pet, and you love that person, you love that thing, even if it isn't like a person, you love it, and then like that it goes away. And to me, that's what Plastic Memories did really well, but it just didn't do it a lot, because then you had those awkward, stupid, pointless episodes that you just said to yourself, why? The show could have been like much better if it had more of those. Don't get me wrong, I like Plastic Memories. I just wish that it would have had more of those moments. I mean, if you needed to cut it down to like less episodes, do it. I've seen some shows tell more with less than they do with more, and it was a great ending because it ended sort of unexpectedly, because I thought there was gonna be some conflict. They were gonna drag it out, and it was just gonna be dumb and over the top. But no, they ended it on a real note, on a note that, you know, was real. Like, it wasn't made up. It didn't feel cliched and over the top and just all that kind of bullshit. No, it was the ending that they should have done, and I liked it, and it was sweet, and it was kind of bittersweet, and I'd watch it again. I'd skip those stupid episodes, but I'd watch probably the last 3 definitely again, because it's good. It's not his best written show, but it's definitely, it has good morals, and they're there. It's just sometimes if you add in those stupid shows, that message kind of gets missed along the way. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to tell this message and make it serious, and then you have I understand you can have those goofy moments in between. I'm not saying it has to be serious 100% of the time, but I mean, there was full episodes where it was just dumb, and it was like a completely different show. Like, you can't set the mood for the show and then turn it around and make it something different. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, you get my respect, Plastic Memories, for being ambitious in in a season and in a genre that never likes to end things, and just making it your own. So, good job. That is my 10 through 6. On the next video, I'll do my 5 through 1 and see what you guys think of that. If you like everything that's on my list so far, let me know. If you don't like it, also let me know. If there's some that you think, or predict, how about this? Predict what you think are going to be my 5 through 1, and then we can go from there and see which ones you get right. But more or less, that was my 10 through 6 so far. We'll see how we go through the 5 to number 1. See you next time. Everything Animated.